So you're scared of oblivion. Not the game, but what awaits you after your mortal self perishes. Oblivion. The ultimate end. Termination of life itself. And that's alright, it's a scary thought for sure. But what if you could avoid such a fate? What if you could tell death, not today, for the next few centuries? Wouldn't that be something? Well, let's take a step into the post-apocalyptic world of Fallout and explore some of the ways that you can attempt to cheat death. This is the Undying, an exploration of Fallout's paths to immortality. Maybe the most common pathway to immortality within the Fallout universe comes from the byproduct of nuclear Armageddon. It's known that being exposed to radiation of a particular rate leads to a process known as Ghoulification. This process has allowed individuals to grant themselves a semblance of immortality, albeit at a heavy cost. Ghoulification is a bizarre metamorphosis that occurs when an individual is exposed to a varying amount of radiation over a varying period. Sometimes it's low and slow, and other times it's high and fast. The radiation itself alters their physiology, transforming them into ghouls, humanoids best characterized by their decaying flesh, raspy tones, and prolonged lifespans. Thanks to the transformation, these individuals become eternal witnesses to the continued devastation of the post-apocalyptic wasteland. Their existences tend to span centuries. While countless individuals have fallen prey to the irreversible process of ghoulification, two notable pre-war characters sought out this mad science in a bid to save their lives: Eddie Winter and Desmond Lockhart. Eddie Winter, a pre-war Boston gangster, sought to escape the inevitability of death while preserving his criminal legacy. Upon realizing that his time was running out, Winter, with the help of an underworld doctor, subjected himself to a harrowing dose of radiation. This experimental procedure would see Eddie Winter transform into a ghoulified monster. In doing so, Eddie's lifespan was extended indefinitely. Well, it was extended until Nick Valentine's memories compelled the synth Private Eye to finally take down the mob boss. On the other hand, Desmond Lockhart, a reclusive British intelligence agent, found himself scrambling for a way to survive the impending Great War. Thanks to his knowledge gained from his intelligence network, Lockhart was anticipating a devastating global confrontation. To avoid a fate met by millions, Lockhart would subject himself to carefully measured doses of radiation. Through this exposure, Lockhart would transform into a ghoul, retaining his sanity and intellect. This deliberate desire to survive granted him the gift of everlasting life. With this newly acquired boon, Lockhart would flee the United Kingdom and settle in Point Lookout's Calvert Mansion. The precise mechanisms behind how ghoulification ensures immortality remain shrouded in mystery. It is speculated that the high radiation exposure halts the aging process, suppressing cellular degradation and maintaining bodily functions despite the decay of their physical appearance. This resilience to injury, coupled with their natural immunity to many diseases, grants them a level of physical invulnerability that contributes to their continued existence. Ghoulification is the most common method of achieving immortality. While intentionally subjecting oneself to lethal amounts of radiation doesn't guarantee ghoul transformation, and most often leads to death, those who do survive the excruciating experience awake as a disfigured, yet immortal, being. Through this transformation, individuals like Eddie Winter and Desmond Lockhart have managed to escape the certain fate of death, albeit at the cost of their humanity. Whether through desperation or deliberate choice, ghoulification offers a unique avenue for immortality, extending the lives of those affected, preserving their memories, and unlike the next example, retaining their physical capabilities. Aside from the uncertain transformative power of ghoulification, other pre-war characters have attempted to elude death using more sophisticated technologies. Through advancements in various life prolongation technologies, notably cryostasis, stasis with computer interfacing, and mechanically aided immortality, certain individuals have managed to outlive a human's natural lifespan. Cryostasis, a process that involves subjecting an individual to sub-zero temperatures and placing them in a state of suspended animation, has become a prominent method for achieving immortality in the Fallout universe. By entering cryogenic chambers, individuals effectively halt the aging process, preserving their minds and bodies in a state of dormancy until they are awakened in the future. There are several notable examples of folks attaining a sort of immortality through cryostasis within the Fallout universe, even if many involve an unwilling participant. Maybe the most well-known example comes from the prologue of Fallout 4. The residents of Vault 111, an underground vault in the Commonwealth, were subjected to cryogenic preservation as part of an experiment. Sealed within their cryopods, they remained in a state of suspended animation, sheltered from the ravages of time and the surface while awaiting for their designated awakening date. However, due to some unforeseen circumstances, namely a Vault mutiny, the dwellers were stranded and alone, frozen in time. Their release would eventually come sometime prior to the events of Fallout 4, when Institute agent Conrad Kellogg would be sent on an asset retrieval mission. Kellogg and his team would disable the Vault's cryostasis pods while he collected a baby from the sole survivor's partner. Once Sean was acquired, Kellogg's team would disable the life support of all pods but one and leave, condemning the other dwellers to death. To live for nearly 200 years in stasis, only to immediately perish once the stasis was deactivated. Terrible luck, I'd say. But beyond the confines of vaults, involuntary cryostasis suspension was encountered by the unfortunate captives aboard the extraterrestrial vessel Mothership Zeta. Abducted by aliens, these individuals were frozen in cryopods for extended periods of time, becoming subjects of alien experimentation and observation. These captives include a samurai from the 1600s, a rancher from the early 1900s, and an American soldier from 2076. Their prolonged existence in a frozen state allowed them to endure the passage of time, just in time to be recruited by a post-war adventurer for an interstellar mutiny. The physics behind cryostasis and its ability to ensure immortality lies in the concept of suspended animation. By subjecting the body to freezing temperatures, cellular metabolism is drastically reduced, preserving the current state of tissues and organs and slowing down the aging process. This preservation of bodily functions, such as the heart rate and brain activity, minimizes the wear and tear caused by the passage of time, effectively extending the individual's lifespan. Furthermore, these cryogenic chambers are often equipped with sophisticated life support systems that provide the necessary nutrients and fluids to the body while in stasis, preventing tissue deterioration and ensuring the preservation of the subject. The stasis pod itself also shields the body from external factors such as radiation or diseases, further contributing to the preservation of life. Cryostasis, while confining the subject to a state-of-the-art pod, ensures indefinite survivability, immortality, if you will. By entering a suspended state, individuals can effectively halt the effects of aging, preserving their bodies and minds until they are awakened in a future era. While as unknowing guinea pigs or as subjects of alien abduction, those affected by cryostasis experience a unique form of immortality, awaiting for their eventual reemergence into a world forever changed. But cryostasis isn't the only life prolongation technology that ensures immortality. In fact, there are certain methods that aren't as restrictive, allowing the subject to interact with the physical world while still under the effects of stasis. One such method, what I call stasis with computer interfacing, presents an interesting avenue for individuals seeking a perpetual existence. Stasis with computer interfacing covers any life prolongation technology that combines the benefits of stasis with a direct connection to a computer system. This integration allows individuals to enter a state of suspended animation while maintaining a limited form of consciousness and interaction with the world around them through the virtual realm. Two prominent examples exist within the games. The first instance revolves around the all-powerful Edwin House, the visionary and reclusive mind behind perhaps the greatest robotics company, Robco Industries. Faced with the impending devastation of the Great War, House utilized cutting-edge technology to link his consciousness to a powerful supercomputer, enabling him to not only survive the nuclear holocaust, but to also ensure his future as one of the Mojave's most prominent figures. While his physical body certainly has aged over the years, his mind remained as sharp as ever. Upon regaining his consciousness, the remote House swiftly set about shaping the remains of the Las Vegas Strip into his own New Vegas. Through interfacing with his supercomputer and Securitron robots, House was able to make use of his strategic prowess and decision-making abilities to carve out his piece of the wasteland. Another example is found within Vault 112, an experimental facility equipped with state-of-the-art virtual reality loungers. The residents of this vault, including the renowned scientist Dr. Stanislaus Braun, were placed in a prolonged state of stasis while connected to several simulated worlds. In these idyllic but twisted simulations, the inhabitants experienced a perpetual existence, shielded from the harsh realities of the post-apocalyptic wasteland. While their bodies remained in stasis, their consciousness interacted with the Vault's supercomputer, allowing them to live indefinitely in a fabricated reality. The mechanics behind this sort of stasis involves establishing a direct neural connection between the subject's mind and a powerful computer system. This connection serves as a bridge between the physical and virtual worlds, enabling the individual's consciousness to exist either within a simulated environment like Vault 112 or within another computer, like Mr. House. This all happens while their body remains in a state of suspended animation. Through this connection, they are able to remain immortal while also interacting with either the physical or digital worlds, an improvement on the standard AFK kind of cryostasis. The computer system not only sustains the individual's consciousness, but also, like typical cryostasis, regulates their bodily functions, maintaining essential physiological processes to ensure their survival. Nutrients, hydration, and other necessary elements are supplied through the hibernation pod, while waste and toxins are likely processed and eliminated, mimicking your traditional biological functions. This kind of stasis, one with computer interfacing, offers yet another unique form of immortality. By entering a state of suspended animation while connected to a computer system, individuals can maintain a limited form of interaction even as their physical bodies remain dormant. Not unlike cryostasis and computer interfacing stasis, there exists a method that's almost like a hybrid between the two. It's what I call mechanically aided immortality. Through the use of cryonics and machines, a lone individual was able to indefinitely prolong his life, though maybe not in the way he imagined. This kind of mechanically aided immortality is a fusion of biological and mechanical components. They're essentially cyborgs. But while the term cyborg may evoke images of mechanical human hybrids, the limited research and technology available by the pre-war United States Army resulted in a much bleaker and clunkier reality. John Caleb Bradburton, the mastermind chemist behind the nation's best-selling soda, Nuka-Cola, had a desire to outlive the impending apocalypse. As part of a deal between the US military and Nuka-Cola, in exchange for help with weaponizing the beverage, the US Army would permit Bradburton to undergo their experimental bioengineering program known as Leap X, or Life Extension and Prolongation Program. But where Bradburton was under the impression that his body would be put into a living biosuit, dedicated to preserving his bodily functions while maintaining a sense of humanity. Rather, Leap X was a large, immobile machine that was only able to sustain 15 pounds of body mass. So, only Bradburton's head was capable of being preserved. Bradburton's head, connected to the Leap X machine, would remain forever immortal within Bradburton's personal vault. Using a series of specialized mechanical components and cryonic technology, the Leap X program was able to preserve only a mere fraction of Bradburton's humanity. The big difference between a typical cryopod and Leap X was the subject's ability to retain consciousness. Unlike a standard cryostasis pod, Bradburton would remain conscious for the entire duration. While normally this could be seen as an advantage, Bradburton's 200 years of loneliness would ultimately lead to the man regretting his decision to become immortal in the first place. Mechanically aided immortality represents a groundbreaking advancement in the pursuit of eternal life. By integrating mechanical enhancements with the human body, or vice versa, individuals are able to surpass the limitations of mortality and embrace a future where man and machine intermingle. Through surgical procedures and advanced technology, this method offers extended lifespans, though at a high cost of one's own humanity. Sure, you'll live forever, but is eternal existence worth such a steep price? While advanced technology has paved the way for some remarkable forms of immortality, there also exists a more arcane and mystical path towards eternal life. Through some occultish means, some individuals have attained immortality through ancient and otherworldly artifacts. One mysterious way of achieving immortality involves harnessing the blood of a certain individual. The Cabot family's curiosity and desire to live forever has led them to uncover the remarkable properties of their patriarch's blood. The Cabot family would use their father's blood to create the mysterious serum. But how did Lorenzo's blood become a key ingredient in a potion of Undying? Lorenzo Cabot, a brilliant scientist and archaeologist, discovered an otherworldly artifact during an archaeological expedition in the Rub al-Khali Desert in 1894. Unbeknownst to him, the crown was imbued with some sort of non-human powers, bestowing upon him immortality and incredible psychic abilities. Over time, his body became a vessel of immense power, rendering him practically invulnerable and eternal. Following in his father's footsteps, Lorenzo's son, Jack Cabot, sought to unlock the secrets of his father's immortality. He used his father's blood, saturated with the alien powers of the crown, to craft the mysterious serum. Through a series of intricate scientific processes, Jack harnessed the regenerative properties and longevity of Lorenzo's blood, transforming it into a potent elixir that promised immortality for those who dared to partake. The mysterious serum has granted the Cabot family a form of immortality that allows them to defy the effects of aging. By administering the serum, individuals like Lorenzo, Jack, and the rest of the Cabots have achieved prolonged lifespans, retained their vitality, and maintained their physical and mental capacities beyond a typical mortal existence. The actual mechanics behind how the mysterious serum ensures immortality remain steeped in scientific and extraterrestrial intricacies. As Lorenzo's artifact is from an ancient non-human civilization, it is really anyone's guess as to how it grants its powers. Magic, advanced alien tech, who knows? Though the mysterious serum is not without its drawbacks. Prolonged use or excessive dosage can lead to severe side effects, with the most notable one being addiction. While attempting to wean off the serum, Imogene Cabot notes the feeling of growing older and losing youth and beauty is an awful one. The elixir, while granting a boon not experienced by many, does require caution. Derived from Lorenzo Cabot's altered blood, the mysterious serum presents an otherworldly way of achieving immortality. By harnessing the regenerative powers latent in the blood of Lorenzo, the serum offers prolonged life and the preservation of youth. However, the delicate balance between its benefits and potential dangers serves as a reminder that immortality is not without its costs. Those who partake must navigate the fine line between eternal life and reliance on the chem. Aside from the powers granted by the mysterious serum, there exists another occultish method of attaining eternal life, one tied to the history of one of Point Lookout's oldest families and the puzzling secret of Dunwich. The Cryostasis is a dark and ancient tome of forbidden knowledge, supposedly possessing a dark power. The mere possession of this eldritch artifact promises a pathway to eternal life. One example of the Cryostasis' power can be found in the story of Constance Blackhall, a member of Point Lookout's Blackhall family. Constance used her family's great wealth to acquire the Dark Text. In doing so, she became a sort of cult leader for the people of Point Lookout. She would share the writings of the Cryostasis with her followers. By delving into forbidden rituals and channeling the dark powers within the Cryostasis, Constance managed to attain a form of immortality. The precise rituals she performed and the sacrifices she made are veiled in secrecy, but the very existence of her prolonged life attests to the Cryostasis' macabre influence. However, at some point the book was stolen from her, and she would pass away shortly after. Without the Cryostasis, Constance became mortal once again, susceptible to the effects of aging. The way in which the Cryostasis ensures immortality remains elusive, mirroring its mysterious nature. If I had to speculate, I'd wager that the rituals and incantations contained within the tome taps into some ancient forces and eldritch energies that transcend the limitations of a mortal life. By harnessing these arcane powers, the user would be able to manipulate their own life force, effectively extending their lifespan and ensuring their continued existence. The Cryostasis serves as a mysterious and otherworldly method of achieving immortality. Only those in possession of the strange text will truly know how it grants its mystical powers. The tale of Constance and the Cryostasis show not only the allure, but the dangers of harnessing the occult to gain immortality. Within the bleak world of Fallout, several pre-war individuals have attempted to prolong their life using a variety of methods. From the enduring presence of ghouls, forever marked by the ravages of radiation, to the many forms of stasis, and the arcane secrets locked within ancient tomes and mysterious elixirs, immortality becomes an alluring, yet oftentimes perilous endeavor. Each method reveals the common desire to transcend mortality and defy the passage of time. Yet amidst these many paths towards eternal life, one truth remains clear. The quest for immortality is not without sacrifice. It serves as a reminder that while the yearning for an everlasting existence persists, the nature of immortality itself remains a complex conundrum, forever enticing and forever elusive. Thank you for listening. If you liked the video, be sure to share and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day. Cheers.
The universe is a big place. Anything could be out there.
Wonderful. Most people's minds are too narrow to admit the possibilities of an infinite universe. But I'm not talking about flying saucers and little green men. I'm talking about the hidden history of our planet, the very origins of human civilization. Ancient powers that modern science, even at its pinnacle, could barely begin to comprehend.
That's really interesting.